मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Today's our chanting will be Swadhyaya Prashamsa. Before that, Pranava Upasana. It is 16th Anuvaka in Siksha Valli. Om Omiti Brahma Omiti Dagam Sarvam Omityetadανukruti Hasmava Apyo Shravayetya Shrawayanti Omiti Samani Gayanti Ogam Shomiti Shastrani Shagam Santi ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाते ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति। ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराथीतरः तप इति तपो नित्यः पौरुषिष्ठिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम्। वेदमनूच्याचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ति सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि ते सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि ये के चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया अदेयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अत यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्तविचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यो शन्नो मित्रः संवरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Out of so many Upanishads, this great Taittiriya Upanishad is the one which can be chanted with swara, and it is so sweet. And as we are having already little bit, if we can increase that, the joy of chanting, study, everything would be wonderful. And what is that we already have? The liking for the Upanishad, the Brahma Vidya. When we have a little more, then we can see the joy in contacting the Upanishad in every aspect of chanting, listening, understanding, contemplating, meditating. Everything will be so beautiful. Second thing is, among all the Upanishads, these Upanishads seems to be so complete for a sadhaka because it starts guiding us from the mundane, most grossest thing. As to we need the wealth, we need the vidya, and we need people around us, and this is what we have to live life as sadachara. This is called as the Veda Anushasanam for the students. This is how the Grahasthas have to live. All that is geared towards the further qualification, practice, and achievement of Brahma Vidya. In other Upanishads, all these are not part of the Upanishad. They are said in the earlier classes, or the one who is already prepared in all of them is the one when qualified and comes. To him, the Upanishad Rishi used to give the Jnanam. But in this Upanishad, all those preparations also are given. That's how it's a complete one. What we need to do is spend those few months' time to have a overall understanding of it, then comprehensive understanding, then the systematic step-by-step understanding. How much ever understanding we have, unless we do sadhana, the result will not come. And sadhana karne ke liye, that inclination slowly. And one of the many reasons by which this inclination for the sadhana grows is our relentless, continuous prayer to Paramatma, along with that a sankalpa. May I study Upanishad more regularly, more seriously, more deeply. May I have joy of understanding Upanishad. I have this joy of coming to the class of the Upanishad, but joy of understanding every aspect thoroughly, deeply, without any doubt. Then we will know how deeply the rishis have given Vedanta Shastras for our own spiritual evolution, which is the only way to get mukti. In any other way of living, we are only bound. So let's have that sankalpam, let's have those prayers so that our study becomes beautiful. Om Samasta Brahma Vidya Acharyebhyo Namaha, Rishibhyo Namaha, Munibhyo Namaha, Gurubhyo Namaha. ओम श्री वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः. ओम श्री वैशंपायन सद्गुरवे नमः. याज्ञवल्क्य सद्गुरवे नमः. आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम नत श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तरीय उपनिषद. ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः. यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते. ॐ अथ शिक्षावल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः. नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारम् अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now let us chant the fourth Anuvaka, the mantra which is so important, so necessary, which is under discussion nowadays. Om Yaschandasam Rajavo Vishwaropaha Chandobhyodhyamrutaat Sambhavova Samendro Medhaya Sprunoto Amrutasya Devadharano Bhoyasam Shariram Me Vicharshano Jihva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyambhori ब्रह्मण कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः ॐ श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. This mantra we have discussed almost 2.5 3 days. So yaha, that Omkara Chandasam Rishabhaha, the best among all the mantras of Vedas, because it is the Nama, Alambana, Pratika of Parabrahma, as well as Akshara Brahma and Kshara Brahma. Then Chandobhyo Adi Amrutat Sambhabhuvaha, the one who has come out of the Amruta of the Vedas. Already there, but specially expressed. When Brahma Devata has done his own contemplation to discover the Sarishtata of the all these Vyaharutis and Deva Veda Ityadi. Then to that Bhagavan, we are adding one more adjective, that Sama Indraha. Indraha, we have understood, Sakala Kaveshwaraha and Parameshwara. So these are all the every day we have to remember the Lord, His glory, and create that atmosphere of deep faith that He will bless me with the boon I asked, and with utter reverence and respect created in the heart. With that heart, now we ask Him what we want. And here in the Upanishad, what asked here? The MEDHA, and what asked later on Shri. Both of them are not to destroy ourselves by following the Artha Kama Purushartha, but to help ourselves to evolve spiritually. After these many days of listening, spirituality is my goal. This thought, is it becoming stronger or not? We have to see. And the sign of the thought that I am Adhyatmika seeker growing is, as we just now said 5 minutes back, our love, our inclination, our planning of the day is only for doing our sadhana. All else, when it is becoming secondary, only Adhyatmic sadhana is becoming primary, then we have understood the Shastras, the consequence of which is we are getting convinced that the goal to be achieved is spiritual sadhana, spiritual goal. Is it happening or not? Time and again, we have to keep on checking. If it is convinced, then pursue the path and move ahead. Now, one by one thing is asked here. Sa Indraha me means ma means Sa Indraha ma mam, that Indra to me, he bless. What? Medhaya sprunotu. May give us medha. Right now, only close the eyes and ask. And medha is prajna. Then Amrutasya he deva dharanaha bhuyasa. He deva bhuyasa. O Lord, may I become. May I become. That is the main sentence. What should I become? Dharanaha bhuyasam. May I become the holder of what? Amritasya. What is Amrita? Brahmagnana. Why Brahmagnana? Because it is the only Amritatva Hetu. Why Amritatva Hetu? Because nobody loves to have Mriti or Maranam. Everybody is trying to be immortal only. As a body, you can't be immortal. Is it not? And the only option left is therefore to recognize already existing our own immortal essential self. Therefore, through this Brahmagnana Shravanam of these Upanishads, may have become the holder, in the other words, experiences of the Amrutatva. And how it comes? With the medha. What is medha? Knowing that my goal is Amrita Tattva, knowing that it happens only through Brahma Vidya, knowing that Brahma Vidya is a continuous, constant pursuit of listening, mananam, chintanam, sadhana, and experience. Remembering all that all the time and sticking only to that is called medha here. Like a sports person, he knows which is he is a sports person, he knows which sport he is a person of, then he knows what are the tournaments coming or what are the levels he has got, what are the improvements he has to get, and how he'll have to train himself every day. His full mind is only on that. His diet at home, his sleeping hours, his exercises, his all other interactions, invitations, obligations, all of them he decides first based on his main goal. Many of them, if avoidable, non compulsory, non obligatory, he just drops them, but never compromises his with the sport. That is called his that medha. So to for me, as a Adhyatmika Seeker, my medha is this. Moksha is my lakshya. That is possible through the Amritattva Prapti. That is possible through the Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya is an Anubhava. Before that it is Dhyanam. Before that is Vicharana. Before that is the continuous constant Shravana, Atswadhyaya and Manana. This always remembering is Medha. Prajna. None of the worldly happenings. Anything, I'm not detailedly explaining now, not to distract your mind too much, but none of the things happening of the world around us should take our attention, even little also, away from this goal. That is called prajna. All the time, सुबह शाम रात सपने में नींद में हमेशा मेरा मुख्य लक्ष्य ही मुझे याद रहना है. That sort of preparation is called medha or prajna. May the Lord give me. That's the only way by which we attend to increasing our desire, love for knowing the truth. That's the only way by which our mind, which is involved in the imaginary world and binding us, we can pull it away. Otherwise, from million lives, what is happening? That our mind is pulled into the mithya jagata as satya, it will continue happening. Then continuously we will be in the samsara like in so many lives. Again we will be denied of this higher truth. उससे फिर से वंचित हो जाएंगे, फिर से दूर रह जाएंगे. You understand? So I tell you, it is special blessings on us when you are studying Taittiriya Upanishad and kindness of the gurus that beta you have studied already. Ishakena Kata Prashna Mundamandika, 6 Upanishad studied. Did you remember anything? Nothing. Therefore, at least in this Upanishad, right from the beginning only, you pray to the Lord Omkara, who was a hero in the earlier Upanishad called as Mandukya, that first of all give Medha. Otherwise, you study this Upanishad also, you forget this also, and you study other one, then you will never remember your goal. पढ़ी जा रहे लेकिन स्टडी जा रहे आगे बढ़ी नहीं जा रहे. See that sequence में पहले मुझे प्रज्ञा, give me prajna first, give me the medha, that nothing should become important for me. Whatever required to be involved, I am doing all, but not going out of sight of my own main goal. You know that. But in the initial days, because of so much of vikaras and vasanas and habits, you will never have liking or interest for the Vedanta or sadhana at all. That much will be the pull of the world. But again, those few gestation period of years of 10 or 12, where we go through all that, get frustrated, get what you want, experience that also. Along with that, when you're praying to the God, going to Tirtha Yatra, holding on to some guru very importantly, attending some classes at least, all of that slowly reduces that, increases this. And we have to put effort to increase this liking for the spiritual goal so much that the liking for the worldliness is not even little. And with this liking, we are fully involving. That's called medha or prajna. Opposite of that is not remembering at all that our goal is Paramatma and our sadhana is Adhyatmika. Just getting carried away in the Artha Kama, in the Vyavahara, in the social obligation, in the worldly things. All of them which we talk in English, technically they are called as caught up in Kama Krodhadi or Raga Dveshadi or Shokamohadi or Eshanatrayadi. Technical में वो कहते हैं, they are same thing. What is said in Shastri Bhasha, we said in English. That's what we came from. How can we go back? So, Amrutasya Deva Dharana Vyasam connected. Ye Deva Amrutasya, Brahmajnanasya Dharana Vyasam. How important it is. Mhm. Amrutasya He Deva Dharana Vyasam. May I become. Amrutatva Hetubhutasya Brahmajnanasya Dharana Vyasam. One, so two things are pakka asked. Medha and amrutattvasya hetubhutasya brahmajnana rupa amrutasya dharana aham vyasa. See the two things, medha, the goal, everything is thoroughly remembered, and with the that preparation, always in that dharana of amrutatva. And at this level, actually, amrutatva dharana means always in the thought that aham brahmasmi. Aham Shuddha Sadgana Chidgana Ananda Ganosmi. This type of thought actually is called as Amritatsva Devadharana Bhuyas. These are our two goals. First the main goal, second is sadhana for it. Now for that, whatever the obstacles come, please, they may be removed. Whatever the conveniences required, they are given. What are they? So these are the three, four things. Very beautifully asked. Shariram me vicharshanam yogyam. Close the eyes and say to the Omkara Lord, O Lord, may body be not tired, exhausted in the bhoga, in the nidra, in all unwanted works. It should be vicharshanam, fully active, dynamic, full of energy and enthusiasm for my spiritual sadhana. वो इसमें प्रतिज्ञा भी है, प्रयत्न भी है कि we should also be careful, at least after many frustrated failures of weakening ourselves by indulging in the world, that we must learn to withdraw from them and protect the energy health of the body for our sadhana. खुद भी करना, भगवान से भी मांगना. Bhagavan will bless when we ourselves try. And mainly Bhagavan's blessing will be avoiding those indulgences by which we get lost, and also He helps us in giving us the energy to balance our prarabdha or energy to withstand the prarabdha if in it there is something of troubling the deha. प्रारब्ध के अनुसार देह का कोई दुख रोग होने का है तो भगवान उसको झेलने का स्ट्रेंथ देंगे हमको थ्रू दिस प्रार्थना, so that our sadhana is not stopped. Like the example of you have little fever, stomach ache, still you take bath and do your puja. That is the meaning of Bhagavan blessing us with making that strength little more, conviction more than the pain, to be able to continue sadhana. In another occasion, वो पेट दर्द ये हो रहा है करके चलो आज पूजा छोड़ देते हैं, we sleep away. Prarabdha he can't avoid, but he gives sankalpa, he gives strength to overcome that as well as do the sadhana. Along with that, what we have to do? We have to be careful to keep up our sharira vicharsh. And throughout life, remember one thing. Although it is by Lord's grace, everything happens. Karte ho tum kanaya. Yet remember, we also have our due sadhana to do. After doing our due effort, only we have the right to ask Him and we deserve to get from Him. If we don't do this, then Lord will give us, but we go on misusing, because the first basic thing of discipline and control and non-wastage of the resources we have not learned. So shariram me vicharshanam, O Lord, throughout life. Is it not? No limb of the body should trouble me. No entire body should be troubling me with its variety of weaknesses or all those things, diseases. Shariram me vicharshanam, then jihva me madhumattama, madhumati, ativa madhumati. What a beautiful word he used. Is it not? Ajifa me madhumattama, madhumati, atishayena madhurabhashini ityartaha. लोगों को ना आप कुछ भी दो, but if with the speech, if you hurt them, they become so miserable and they react and they create so much tension to us. On the other hand, give something or not, but give loving words. At least they don't trouble you mentally, mean they don't send negative thoughts. लोगों का भूख मिटाना, प्यार चाहिए उनको बातों से, सीखना है, वो आदत बनाना है. You have to make a habit of speaking sweetly so that people are made happy in our presence, so that they don't become obstruction for our sadhana. Is it right? Like you want to come to class, तो your son or wife or daughter-in-law, somebody कोई काम बताए आपको, नो हमें क्लास का टाइम हो रहा है, चिल्ला के if you tell them, they will put off the computer or remove the internet. On the other hand, you say, yes, definitely, I'll do that work. पक्का मैं करता हूँ. बस 1 घंटा में स्वामी जी का आत्म शांति भी कर दे क्लास में जाकर, then I will attend, do this work. Lovingly we say, okay, Papa, okay, Dad. They say, that's the meaning of Madhura Bhashini. If you fight with them with anger, you are right, but your right is not to be proved by fight. You are right, it is your right. Yet, Madhura Bhashini. Everywhere. Otherwise, what happens? The words, like a sword, will hurt the heart. Now, remember, see the kindness of our Lord and Guru, that already in Viduraniti, for more than 15 shlokas in the last chapter, the positive result of the sweet speech, the negative result of the bitter speech we studied. Very early, recently, 2 days back only, in Ramayana, Sri Lord Rama, before listening from that Brahmana, did he not say about the losses incur when we are angry, krodha? That Brahmana to has beaten. But this dog, to out of krodha, it came to Rama, asked for the compensation or this punishment to the Brahmana. She gave a shapa only, the dog. Shapa as if only कि इनको कौलंचर का कौलाधिपति बना दो. See, Bhagavan is giving through these texts also that knowledge which is in line with what is being taught in the Upanishad. And you and I, only one thing if we can do, one or two things. One thing is I have to grow spiritually, common. Second is what? Just become aware of all the 4 classes or 6 classes we are attending and try to catch the essence and try to integrate entire thing. Not only we understand the sadhana in its completeness, but we'll see the kindness of God and Guru answering our prayers. We don't know of how many lives that we should get all this information and knowledge, oh Lord, easily. तो जो हमने प्रेयर किया भगवान इज आंसरिंग इट थ्रू ऑल दीज occasions to us. That idea, that understanding will come. I'm just saying, which is not part of topic, but if we really coordinate with whatever we are doing classes, means in our mind we can see how we are complemented in each of the class to be convinced about the goal and means. So jihva me madhumattama, and one aspect of madhumati of the jihva is what? Through little practice and understanding, should develop this conviction that there is sweetness only in taking the name of the Lord. There is sweetness only in chanting the mantras of Upanishads. That we have to discover. That we have to discover somehow or the other in such a way that we long for that sweet. Is it not? Like to any sweet, we discover the taste sukha in that, therefore we long for it. That is an eatable. Here also, if somehow we can discover it, then all the time our jihva will be in the nama of the Lord. Madhuram, 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 Madhuram. So too in the Veda mantra, if I can discover the sweetness, then all the time, all the mantras in the mind or kitab samne, you can chant it. You become familiar with that mantras. How beautiful that would be. This is an additional explanation or tip given along with the main meaning that our jihva should be sweet while interacting with anybody so that we don't create bitterness or enmity. That mind is disturbed, that you can't focus on the sadhana and you have to say sorry to that fellow. Till that time, he is also disturbed and he tells somebody, and somebody tells somebody, and all of them tell the guru. Guru becomes angry and he calls you, summons you. Then he'll ask you the explanation, and then he is not satisfied with the answer. So he says, go out of the ashram. ऑल इतना टेंशन क्यों? कुछ भी हो सकता है। सब 1 डेढ़ इंच का जिह्वा कंट्रोल करो तो सारा अवॉइड हो जाता है। पीपल हैव ऑलवेज कंप्लेंट कि उन्होंने ये कहा, उन्होंने वो कहा एंड लॉट ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन इन दैट कंप्लेंट। बट इफ यू डोंट स्पीक, पीपल हैव ओनली वन कंप्लेंट कि ही डिड नॉट स्पीक। उसके बाद वो प्रॉब्लम बढ़ेगा नहीं। अच्छा उसने नहीं बोला, नहीं बोला, क्या नहीं बोला? अरे! कुछ नहीं बोला। अदरवाइज़ यू से कि उसने ये बोला, देन यू आस्क क्या बोला? देन ये बोला, देन दिस बोला, देन पैरा बोला, देन यू गो ऑन टेलिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स। ऐसा, वैसा, वैसा, बट नहीं बोला तो नहीं बोला। If not required, not talking. If required, only sweetly talking. May, oh Lord, why he is praying to the Lord? Because if the Lord blesses, it happens, and if Lord blesses, then only it will happen. Because the tongue 2 inches, backed by the mind with all its rajoguna, tamoguna, quickly reacts and speaks out. And we have million times heard in all books, even in Vidurnidhi and all, that the bullet which gone out of the barrel, the arrow which has gone out of the arrow seat called as the bow, and the word which has gone out of the mouth, now we have no control on it. गया निकल के कि आप उसको अभी भी रोक नहीं सकते, it will hit the target only. One bad word sentence said, it will create the havoc. See that what's happening in 7 days in India. One sentence, whatever she said, but how much problem it is creating. Very funny it is. पता चल रहा है उसे इन लोगों को दिमाग नहीं है करके. The creating agitation and all. Good, somebody from Bangladesh, what she said. Very interesting yesterday. She said, well, yeah, every prophet he'll have to go through some blemish or something will happen. उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? He said, by making such a big issue. So let us be careful about this 2 inches instrument. And with that, everything, like Gurudev used to say, all the property I have is only these 2.5 inch tongue. And with this only, all what has been done or achieved is achieved. For us, that is the property. 2.5 inches tongue, speaking on Shastra and serving the world. So, but our topic is main, Jiva me Madhuvattama. So, first Shariram me Vicharshanam, then Jiva Madhuvattama, third Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishwa. Very important. Let always again have the liking for listening. Is it not? Both Katha of Bhagavan in the Puranas and also Tattva of the Bhagavan in the Vedanta Granthas. Oh Lord, give me that liking to listen. Give me the opportunity to listen. Give me the ability to listen more and more. More important word is bhuri. Karnabhyam Vishruvam. Is may I listen through? Yes. Bhuri Vishruvam means lot and lot I listen. So more and more I listen about the most important theme. That's called Bhagavad. And about the Maya and its scale, also may I listen so that I am fully equipped with the sufficient knowledge as the weapon, so that whenever that worldliness attacks me, I use this knowledge weapon to defeat that worldliness. Is it not? May I have that knowledge? I must also have that knowledge. Knowledge about the Mithyatva Jagat, knowledge about the following aspect of the Jagat means the Jagat, how it binds us to the world, if we give value, importance to it, how when we possess something of the world, how that world possesses our mind, then we are not available for our sadhana, nor our mind is available for us to do something. Is it not like you went send your children to college or America, then they fell in love with some girl, then they don't even talk or call to you because there's no time for them. They're so busy with that new friend or girl, or she may be, then पहले दिन में 2 बार करता था, हफ्ते में 1 बार कर रहा है. If your son stops talking to you morning, evening in foreign country, once in a week he is talking means understand that ये फंस गया हूँ. In the same way, my mind is not available for me. It's gone into the world and worldliness. This knowledge, if I have, even about that, I can withdraw from it. हमेशा चौकन्ना वो ज्ञान भी होने से इसलिए करणाभ्याम भूरि विश्रुवम. Now all this Shankara Bhagavan summarizes in one sentence. Then the next three beautiful things. What is the sentence with which he concludes all of them? Atmajnana yogyaha karya karana sanghataha astu iti vakyarthaha. How beautiful this sentence. How clear it is. How unambiguous it in its purpose as well as in its expression. Expression is also very clear and unambiguous, and the purpose of mentioning. May all these, the purpose of all these prayers is what? Atma Jnana Yogyaha. See, qualified, fit to gain the Atma Jnana. B, this Karya Karana Sanghataha, this assembly of the Karya, the effect, the body, the Karana, the instruments, the 14 of the organs. 5 Jnanendriya, 5 Karmendriya, 4 Antahkarana. These are the Karanas we are given. And the Panchamahabhuta, Sthulikruta Panchamahabhuta, Karyam is Deha. So my entire Karya Karana Sanghata, the gross body, the Jnanendriya, the Karmendriya, the Antahkarana, is called Vedanta Karya Karana Sanghata. The assembly of the body as well as the force. All of that Atma Jnana Yogya Astu. देखो, may it become Yogya, fit instrument for gaining the Atma Jnana. Theoretical, sadhana practical, and experiential. Iti Vakyarthaha. This is the essence of what is said so far. Right from Yes Chandasam Vrishabha prayer, then Mendru Samendru Metya Sprunotu, Amritas Devadanavyasam, till we ask now Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam. None of them should be troubling me, my pursuit of Atmajnana. So, Atmajnana Yogyaha Karya Karana Sanghataha Astu iti Vakya. That means what? There is an unsaid sentence is there, which we are studying in Bhagavatam, and today we will see in the first 2-3 shlokas. Again, Krishna says, the last shloka of the earlier chapter 25 and first 2, ki the Karya Karana Sanghata called the human life is given only for moksha through the Atma Jnana. Dharma gives adhikara for that, not for Artha Kama. Labdhva demamimam jnana vijnana sambhavam. You saw yesterday? Slowly how to do sadhana. Shloka you may not remember, but the essence is to be remembered. What is said in the Purana like that, it has got its basis in this. And in this, there's no many distractions. वेदांत में ना सीधा होता है, मेरा कार्य करण संगत, मेरा लक्ष्य संगत, आत्मज्ञान के लिए लायक बनकर रहे. It's so simple. In Purana, little sentiments, emotions have to be added. After so many lives, one gets human body. In human body, it has got jnana, vijnana, sambhavana. Such body having gained it, if you don't use for it, you are causing harm to yourself. In fact, it is like Atmahatya only. That. In the Upanishad, Atma Jnana Yogya. We already said in the Ishavasa, Ekecha Atmano Janaha. So here that's not repeated. It is said, Tikara Karana Sanghata, Atma Jnana Yogaha Astu iti Vakyartaha. And this is both our prayer to Bhagavan as well as our own effort also. No, these understandings are called maturities. These maturities are the sadhanas. कि मेरा लक्ष्य परमात्मा है, आत्मज्ञान. देन मेरा सारा कार्यक्रम संगात बढ़िया होना है. Therefore, I'll maintain it. I'll protect it. There's some people, they don't have too much of spiritual knowledge or goal, but all their equipment, surroundings, they keep on maintaining. Only they have to be given the goal. भैया इतना मेंटेन मैनेज कर रहे हो, अब इसके द्वारा वो साधना करो. And you and I understanding all sadhanas, but then we are not convinced about the necessity of maintaining this karyakarna sangata along with our efforts and the Bhagwan's Krupa. When we do this one, protect the intellect from wrong concepts, protect the mind from unnecessary emotions. So many gargle every moment. Emotions, more than emotions. What we have to protect mind from is unwanted thoughts of past memory, unwanted thoughts about the people, unwanted thoughts about the future imagination. अरे बाबा इसमें ही माइंड पूरा अपना एनर्जी खो रहा है. Isn't it? If I protect my mind from that, if I protect my sense organs from unnecessary indulgence, why that fatigueness? Why that exhaustion? All the 10 of the indriyas. If I do proper exercise for some time and keep protecting my body all the time, if I really do, along with my sadhana, along with my understanding of Shastra, दोनों मिला लो तो दिन these कार्यकरण संघाता can help me in the spiritual pursuit of sadhana. इस तरह से भगवान summarize करते हैं. Now there are three sentences. ब्रह्मणः कोशः असि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय. And beautiful all of them are. First one is Brahmana Kosha Asi. You are the Kosha of the Brahma Tattva. So what Bhashyakara says here, before that one more beautiful sentence. याद करा रहे. देखो हम भूल रहे, शंकर भगवान नहीं भूलते. He said two things at the end of this sequence of prayers. One is Atmajnanasya yogyah karyakarana sangatah astu iti vakyartah. One. Second is reminding us of what we prayed earlier before Sharirame Vicharshunam. What we prayed for? Medha. Medhaya Sprunotu. He is adding that also says, Medha cha tadartham eva hi prarthyate. अब देखो कितना important. Looks simple sentence in its meaning, but the purpose of saying is very subtle. Simple meaning is what? Even Medas also is desired for, prayed for Atma Jnana Prapti only. This is a literal meaning. What is the indication there? कि मेधा जितना मिल रहा है उससे instead of Atma Jnana, again we use it for other Ajnana only, that medha becomes a big obstacle. आत्मज्ञान में भेद होना है. अदर क्या होगा? We remember all cinema gana and sit for meditation, and not even one sloka of the Upanishad we remember. Then in meditation, what do we do? Only कि नहीं, we go into जाए को इमेज जंगली का है because उसका मेधा है, not this one. That is why मेधा also tadarthameva prarthate. Never forget that the Meda asked only for Atmajnana. पर उसमें बात क्या है? When I pray for Medas, दे दक्षिणावर्ती सरस्वती माता ओंकार, they give me. But where do I employ it? Like I am given the body to work, but where I am working with it? So Medha should also be protected. जितना मेधा में वेद मंत्र याद रहना आवश्यक है, उस मेधस में अदर चीजें नहीं रहना भी आवश्यक है. Now by mistake Medha Shakti has grown, therefore anywhere you expose it, all that memory remains. You know these two extreme problems in the world. That fellow says, यार कुछ याद नहीं रहा, नहीं रह रहा है. He says, I am not able to remember anything only. One extreme problem. The other extreme problem is मैं भूल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. मेधा. It is about us only. कुछ श्लोक याद नहीं आता. अरे दुनिया अरे आई एम नॉट एबल टू भूलो. लॉर्ड प्लीज हेल्प मी. दिस इज द मीनिंग हियर. मेधा च तदर्थम एव हि प्रार्थ्यते. Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. So, basing on this mantra, an extension of this, elaboration of this only, what Bhagavan said in Gita 15, chapter 15, sloka, that it is from me, the Smriti, the memory, Jnanam, the knowledge, the Medha, Apohanam, forgetfulness also comes. The remembrance, the knowledge, and forgetfulness, all three come from me. Means what? We should also have the memory of some things. We also have the jnanam of something, and we should also have the ability to apohanam, forget not some things, but many things, or everything other than Paramatma. देखो, the invocation of God's grace according to Gita is, please make me forget what is worthy to be forgotten, and make me remember what to remember. है ना? All classes I am listening, I must remember it. Oh Lord, all other things not. In this way, Medha Kama Have Tadartameva Prarthate. Clear? Medha cha Tadartameva Prarthate. हो गया. Now Brahmana Kosha Hasi. I'm taking time, pausing, slowly explaining, so that not like other Upanishads, but better than those. These Upanishads, theme and subject and mantras and words and bhashya, we should be able to grasp. So far, we took so many days. Only we are in the fourth Anuvak, only I remember. But sufficient time given, due time given, effort given. Now, Brahmanaha means Paramatmanaha, of Paramatma. Koshaha asi means asehe iva. You have become you are the kosha for the Brahma Tattva. Oh, my dear Omkara Lord. Oh, Om, you are the kosha. Like what? Asehe iva. Like the for talwar or the sword, the sheath, like that. What is the meaning of the sheath and the sword relation? Sheath is the sheath or the cover or the case of the sword. What a beautiful thought. Bhagavan says, catch karna usko upalabdhi adhishtanatvato. This is how in few words, few sentences only Bhagavan Shankara speaks. But in that, there is a tons of meaning is there which we have to khojo and pata karo. Is it not? So, wherever the, as I said, na, the specs ka case hota hai, more probably the specs also are inside. Therefore, the specs case is a kosha for the specs inside. And this kosha is the upalabdhi adhisthana. It is the adhisthana, or the adhisthana is not the adhisthana parabrahma here. Adhisthana is support. Support for what? Upalabdhi, availability of what? These specs. उपलब्ध है अधिष्ठान है तो आपको उस स्पेक्स का केस मिल गया अधिष्ठान स्पेक्स मिल गया क्योंकि उसी में है भाई बिकॉज इट्स अ कोश ऑफ द स्पेक्स so too if you get the upalabdhi adhisthana the sheath obviously you got the sword also because sword is inside it many a times कहाँ गया मेरा बैग ढूंढते हाँ मिल गया मेरा बैग then you put it on the neck and keep moving the bag is the kosha. It is an Upalabdhi Adhisthana. For what? For all the contents in it. It has got a cell phone, it has your money purse, and in that all credit debit cards are there. अरे बैग मेरा रखा कि नहीं वी टेल द चिल्ड्रन सर्वेंट रखा हूँ साहब बैग से कोई मतलब नहीं है वो शीट है बट इनसाइड दैट द ऑफिस फाइल्स आर देयर whatever the things are required there. You understand? Upalabdhi adhishtanatva. Now feel the meaning. Therefore, Omkara is the kosha for Parabrahma. That means Omkara is Upalabdhi adhisthana of Parabrahma. Therefore, if you respect, revere Omkara and do all the due upasanas of Omkara, right from chanting till what meditation taught to us on the Omkara in the Mandukya, then that helps us in revealing the Parabrahma to whom it is a kosha. स्पेक्स का डब्बा खोल दिया निकाल के चश्मा लगा दी तलवार निकाल दिया फिर से जो करना है करके रख दिया सो टू ओम का उपासना करके खोल दिया ब्रह्म मिल गए दैट इज व्हाई एवरीवेयर ओम 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 श्री ओम तत्सदिति निर्देश ब्रह्मण त्रिविध स्मृत These are the three names are the Brahma, Om Tat Sat, Tasmad Om iti Udahrutya, Yajnadana Tavakriya Pravartante Vidhanoktaha. See, in the 8th chapter also, Om iti Ekakshara Brahma Vyaharan Mamanusmaranya Priyati. Then chanting Om and remembering I am as the Om, the one who leaves the body, he reaches to Paramam Gatim. Yapriyati Stadindeham Sayati Paramam Gatim. In so many places we are given the importance of Pranavada Omkara. The entire Upanishad we studied. Here also we chanted today Om mantra before this Swadhyaya Mahima in our chanting class. Clear? So Om is what therefore the sheath, the kosha for Parabrahma. Brahmana kosha asi. Kosha is not again covering to conceal it, not that negative meaning. It is the Upalabdhi Adhisthana. Because sheath, the sword cannot be kept out. It will be risky also and it will get blunt also. Is it not? So to the specs cannot be kept outside. Because the specs will be broken और कोई scratches उसमें हो जाते हैं उसको बचाना है फिर नहीं दिखेगा. With the scratches kept specs, if you put them and drive the car scooter, आपको सब scratch ही दिखेगा, then you will hit only. देखो उसको रक्षा करना होता है. In the same way, as if in a very protected manner, the the Parabrahma Tattva is brought to us in the sheath or package of Om. And any important valuable thing has to be kept protectedly. You can't just freely, even the Bhagavan also, all wonderful fruits, he packs in the skin and gives us. We don't eat the skin of banana or mango. We eat the pulp inside. Pulp is the one which Lord wants to give us. But he cannot just leave it like that. Therefore, he made a beautiful natural cover and gave. बहुत सारे सब्जियां फल कवर के साथ आते नेचुरल. either cover of pomegranate, cover the नारियल, लॉन्ग लास्टिंग होने के लिए स्ट्रॉन्ग शेल होता है, बट दैट्स ए कवर. In the same way, Brahmanah koshah asi aseheva upalabdhi adhishthanatvatu. What is the meaning of this? See how lovely Shankara Bhagavan is giving us the explanation about which we have to become convinced. His explanation should become our conviction. Our conviction should prompt us to do the due sadhana. What is the explanation? Tvam hi brahmanaha pratikam. You are the symbol. You are the representative. You are the pratika. You are the chihna of the Brahman, O Omkara. In any other Upanishad it is said, so uska authority lekar Bhagavan Shankara is telling us. Tvam brahmanaha, tvam hi brahmanaha pratikam. He means verily. Here, why verily you are Brahmana pratikam? Many other pratikas of Brahma came, but they all came later on. And they have Pauranic authority, not Vedic authority. The pratika of the Brahma is Om, is a Vedic authority. And सबसे पहले ओंकारश्चाद सप्रस्य द्वावेव ब्रह्मणपुरा कंठम भित्वा विनिर्यातौ तस्माद् मांगलिकाउ भव. Therefore, tvam hi brahmana pratika. Now feel it. Om is pratika Brahma. In this way, with respect and reverence, the Om Upasana is done. Later on, what remains just is identifying that with ourselves and experiencing it. उतना ही बचेगा बाद में. When I respect, revere Om as much I respect Brahma, because pratika. Like Tiranga Janda is a pratika of the nation. So, to respect the nation, I salute the Tiranga. The moment when I get habituated to do the salutation to my Tiranga, whenever I am doing the Namaskar, I am not doing to that small piece of cloth or that pole or the thread. I am saluting my entire Bharat Mata. In the same way, After Pranava Upasana done sufficiently, with the authority of what said by Shankara Bhagavan in Upanishad, we can always feel कि I am chanting Bhagavan only, I am calling Bhagavan only, I am in touch with Bhagavan only because I am chanting Om. This intensity of feeling suddenly makes this vocal chanting of Om, intellectual apprehension of meaning of Om, into the experience of the theme of the Om, Pratika of the Om, called as Brahma. That power is there in Pranava Upasana. Tvam hi Brahmanaha Pratikaham. Second one is Tvai Brahma Upalabhyate. In you, Brahma is gained or obtained by us. Like in the sheath, the sword is obtained. In the specs, in the box, the specs are obtained. In the purse, the money is obtained. In the bag, the files are obtained. Tvai Brahma Upalabhyate is a beautiful thought. In you, the Brahman is obtained because you are the kosha for him. And the detailed explanation we will not spend time because it was discussed exhaustively in our earlier Upanishads. How that Omkara's three matras are used in which three avasthas of us, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, are merged in them. What is the merger there? All the Jagrada avastha is a matra of Omkara. Therefore, every experience of the Jagrada avastha should be made to be merged in amatra. In every experience, there are three things: experiencer, experienced, and experiencing. When the experiencer, experience, and experiencing has merged in amatra, means what? Amatra is more remembered than the trio of one experience or continuous experience of waking world. It's just like any japa of the Lord. You are so much engrossed in that japa or nama of Bhagwan or any bhajan. Do you listen anything else? नहीं. जैसे क्रिकेट में इतना दिमाग लगा के देखते मानो सेकंड T20 फर्स्ट वन लास्ट when you are very attentive who have come who are gone what is said by what खाना लगा दो the five shouts from there you don't listen only. Why that Kana Lagadu is a Jagrada Avastha is merged in your Upasana of TV. Bell ringing, not heard. Sun calling, not heard. Phone ringing, वो भी नहीं सुनाई दिया. Sometimes you may notice but don't care. Some friends come, neighbors come at the time. आगे से बैठिए महाराज. You tell them half-heartedly what your mind is in this. This is called the meaning of upasana. So, when the amatra upasana is done, means what? Every experience is less value only as always remembered with the knowledge that all the waking experience came from and through the Ahoma Upasana I have to know the Lord or reach the Paramatma or the Matra. Therefore, all my waking experiences I am devaluing in the at the altar of Amatra. That is called as merging all waking experience. So to all dreams, Swapna Avastha in Umatra. What is the meaning here? A, are such a simple syllables, appear to be so meaningless. Understood? But they are made to be meaningful by our memory to such an extent that in front of A and Umu, the entire Jagrata and Swapna Anuvas are meaningless. That is the meaning there. Otherwise, if you give value to them, they are valuable. If you give reality to them, they are realities. Then you will never get the truth. See, it's all again, I am tempted to explain very detailedly, but it consumes all the time and appears to be out of topic. एक बात तो कह देता हूँ कि one person spoke 1 hour to me and every moment I am reacting to him. There is one way of doing. Another way is what he spoke 1 hour, but you have brushed aside all what he spoke in 1 hour in one sentence. इसका मतलब तुमको मेरे ऊपर गुस्सा है इतना ही ना अब बताओ क्या चाहिए Like yesterday in Rama story, the Saramaya was going on giving pravachan. भगवान ने कहा यार ये सब मैं जानता हूँ, तू बता है क्यों? मेरे को डंडा लगा, ये बोलो ना। आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? यू कैन मेक ए स्मॉल थिंग, बातों को बतंगड़ बनाना कहते हैं, एंड सफर ऑल्सो। यू कैन मेक द एंटायर थिंग इन स्मॉल, दैट्स द ट्रिक ऑफ द माइंड एंड माया। Yeah, like one cinema of 3 hours when we see, with our enthusiasm and our commentary on that, you can explain to others for 6 hours. And 2 hours of class, what Swami spoke, if somebody asks, स्वामी ने क्या कहा क्लास में 2 घंटे? स्वामी ने क्या कहा? ओम शांति शांति शांति। लास्ट वही था, वही याद है। He said, just pray to the Lord that should bless me with all the Karyakarana Sanghata in such a way that they are fit for Atmagyan. इतना ही थोड़ी बताया 1.5 घंटे से, but essence. So too, the Jagrat Swapna Jagat, how much ever you think it is important, is as valuable as A and O Matra. That's it. Another respectful attitude is what? From Parabrahma the Omkara came, from the Omkara A and U Matras came, from the A and U Matra the Jagara Swapna came. That's a respectful reverential attitude that they have come from Paramatma. But sadhana में इतना valueless है कि आ उ बस. You know, that's what happens in our everyday interaction also. When the wife shouts for 1 hour, after हाँ ठीक है इतने कहेंगे वो. He is merging all her words in one sentence. ठीक है. Children also, when our parents scold them for so much, with 1 or 2 sentences, they will merge everything. It really gets merged. It really gets devalued in the same way. So too, the Sushupti Avastha is merged in Makara. Then A in U in Ma in Amatra. It is done in the chanting also. It is done in the imagination also. In the chanting, what is done? All the Jagrada Avasthas, names, forms, interactions are stopped by saying all time. All the explanation, discussion of the pranava, swapna are dissolved in saying matra. And all the nidra experience, acha hua nahi hua, bolo hi mat, itna कहना. Then we can see also chanting, merging in molding into concluding in ma. Then you can become shabda rahita. Through shabda, this meditation is done. In the contemplation, we said how to entire experience have to be devalued by merging them in Oma. So, in this way, Tvai Parabrahma Upalabhyate. In you, Parabrahma is available. Om. You understand? I hope you are catching it. The whole world is nothing but trick of the mind only. It is no real at all. The trick of the mind we are avoiding by using the trick of Omkara. Then Om is removing the mind, what remains? Parabrahma. इतना ही है पूरा जिंदगी है दुनिया. आप वैल्यू करो तो है, नहीं तो नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई सो मेनी पीपल हु वैल्यू द वर्ल्ड सो मच वर्ल्डली, अदर्स डोंट वैल्यू ईट एंड स्लीप. वो वैल्यूएबल है तो सबके लिए होना चाहिए ना. नहीं है वो. जिसने दिया वो फंसा, जो नहीं दिया नहीं फंसा. दिस फेलो जगत में नहीं फंसा लेकिन लेजीनेस में फंसा है. दैट्स डिफरेंट इशू. सो त्वम आलम्बनम, त्वम ही त्वयि ब्रह्म उपलभ्यते. हो गया. देन सेकंड सेंटेंस नाउ. Brahmana kosha asi is explained. You are the sheath of Brahma. You are Upalabdhi Adhisthana. In you, the Brahma is available to us. You are the Pratik of the Brahma, a Omkara. Second one is that Omkara is covered by you, and you, sorry, that Parabrahma is covered by you, oh my dear Omkara, and you are he concealed by something else. What is that? Medhaya pihitaha. थोड़ा सा इस पे ध्यान देना है. Medhaya pihita. Remember, pihita means covered. So Om Parabrahma is Pihita or covered by the kosha called as Omkara. Omkara is Pihita or covered by the Medha. I'll study the chant, the Bhashya and try to explain it. कहते हैं मेधया means लौकिक प्रज्ञया, पिहितः means आच्छादितः, सहत्वम. What is the meaning of that? सामान्य प्रज्ञैः अविदित तत्त्वः इति अर्थः. So the simple meaning is what? You are covered by Medha. You are concealed by Medha. What is the meaning of Medha here? We asked for Medhas earlier for the revelation of Brahma Jnana. Here it is said that the Medha is the one which is covering Brahma Tattva or Omkara. So here the Medha is what? Laukika Prajnaya Pehitaha. That is important. This is a so beautiful thing, I tell you. More feeling than explanation it is. Ki, what is that which is concealing Parabrahma and Parabrahma sadhana of Omkara from us? What is that which is hiding? What is the meaning of concealing and hiding? Meaning is not seen in our vicinity, not becoming aware of it, not knowing it. Means remembering that I have to do the upasana of Omkara to reach the Brahma. Why this is forgotten? Why? How do you say we have forgotten? Because we are not doing it for months together, for years together, for lives together also. Why we are not doing it? The answer is what else we are doing? If that is answered, you get the answer. What else we are doing? Laukika vyapara. All the worldly. Why you are able to do the Laukika Vyakara? Because you remember that Laukika Vishayas so much. Therefore, that remembrance of Laukika Vishayas is called as Laukika Prajna or Medha here. With that, this is Pihita are covered. In short, we are so involved in the Laukika Shabdas of talking, Laukika Vishayas involved in that this Omkara is concealed from us. ओम का वैल्यू, ओम का उपासना, ओम की महिमा, ओम के द्वारा ब्रह्म को पाना है. In that the understanding, the practice, conviction, all of that is as if covered or washed off because of the medha, the laukika prajna. Explanation of it is what? Therefore, samanya prajnaihi tvam avidita tattvaha. You are the Satya Tattva, not concealed, not revealed to, not known by the Samanya Prajna Yukta Vyaktis. What is a Samanya Prajna? Very interesting. I'll explain little today and little more tomorrow. Ki, what are the worldly objects? Nothing but the names. So whenever you utter the names of the world objects, objects are remembered. This is called Samanya Prajna. Because we are in this way, relating the words to the names of the objects and transacting, interacting throughout the day, throughout our life, the essence, the truth that we attend to. That vastu I am calling by the word has got letters. All those letters are summarized in these three syllables called A, U, Ma. Then A, U, Ma is the Omkara. The Omkara is Parabrahma. This is forgotten. That is called as Pihitaha. Means I am involving with the objects and the worldly names so much that with every utterance I am uttering Omkara only, I am uttering Parabrahma only, that I am not able to understand. That is the meaning of Pihitaha. Laukika Prajnaihi Avidita Tattvaha. In the same way, Laukika Prajnaya Pihitaha Achaditaha Samanya Prajnaihi Avidita Tattvaha Ityartha. This is a subtle meaning. Grosser meaning is our intellects are filled with the Laukika knowledge so much that in somewhere corner the spiritual thing is given value. वो याद ही नहीं रहता. अच्छा मैं भूल ही गया जप करना था. कैसे भूल सकते हो? Because you are so busy in the other लौकिक प्रज्ञा that it is pihitaha. But for the serious seeker, first is sadhana, all are secondary. Medhaya pihita. The worldly medhas is the one which is hiding the Paramatma Jnana from us. That is why that has to be forgotten, this should be remembered. To remember it, keep on remembering it only. To forget it, don't go there. Very interesting. बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थॉट है ये। मेधया पिहिता, मैं टू मच वैल्यू गिव my too much value importance given to the worldly knowledge is not allowing me go for pursuing spiritual knowledge. And today's world on the name of information, so much information we're gathering of every nonsense and not about Bhagavad. How many people in the globe now are interested to study Shastra to understand Parabrahma Paramatma? सब और जिंदा है, सबको दिमाग है, सब काम कर रहे हैं. Very few. Then what else they are doing? All of them, Medha of the Laukika Prajna. They are so busy in that. That busyness in that's called Pihita. So in this, what's the prayer? Therefore, you are covered, concealed under the Medha of the Laukikata. Oh Lord, please see to it that that is removed and replaced with this one. May I not give so much importance to the Medha of the Laukika Vishayas that the self is covered from my observation. It's an important prayer. That's what I am telling every day. The Rishi's mantra has such a deep implication in the sadhana. Bhashyakara's bhasha adds that clarity for our understanding. If we can understand both of them, we will really know where we are going wrong, what is right to be done. It is no sentiment here. It's straight truth it is. It's like we speak so many days, and what we spoke every day is improved upon here by the Upanishad. What we spoke every day some time back, "Yeah, all our time is wasted for the world. How can we give time for Paramatma? All our energies are wasted for the world. How can we have energy for Paramatma?" This is what we knew 100 times we spoke. Now the improved edition is what? All our medha is wasted for the world. How can we have the medha for Paramatma? Even our memory power, our intellect, our inquiries, all of them are only for world. How to gain the world, how to achieve, how to enjoy, indulge, embrace. उसी में फंसा है तो आपको यहाँ रहेगा कैसे? After the class, the Laukika Prajna Medha starts, and then this knowledge is Pihitaha. Till you open the book, maybe in the afternoon after you finish your duties, or till we come to the class tomorrow. लौकिक प्रज्ञा से कवर्ड हो गया, नहीं होना चाहिए. उसके लिए खुद का मेहनत and invoking grace of Lord. So I'm reading again for you. Hope you are understanding it. कि मेधया means लौकिक प्रज्ञया, विहितः means आच्छादितः, सहत्वं सामान्य प्रज्ञैः अविदित तत्त्वः इत्यर्थः. Those who have so much of value importance given to the samagna jnana of the laukika vishayas, they will not have the depth. First of all, interest they will not have. Second, time they don't have. Third, effort they will not put. Fourth, they will not have the depth to understand the shastra and the tattva and the omkara as alamana and upasana to use to reach to tattva. ये सब उनको समझ में आएगा ही नहीं. He is very sharp, bright, brilliant as regard the worldly things are concerned. So much medha. And it is mind blowing to see the medha shakti of people in their respective fields. उनमें से हम एक चीज भी नहीं कर पाते हैं, इसलिए बाबा जी बन गए. The medha shakti of the sports person, of the film person, the medha shakti of the scientists, the artists, the poets. Every one of them is so great. We can't achieve even 10% or 5% of them. But that Medha of theirs is covering their Atmajnana. They don't know that. So much it is covering that they don't know that there is something called Shastra that we have to study, in that Paramatma is told. पूरा जिंदगी वो इतने लौकिक प्रज्ञा में they become busy that they don't even remember throughout life. In their house only there is a book, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. खोलते नहीं उसको. That is the meaning of Medhaya Veda. And some more meanings are there. Tomorrow we'll touch upon. एक चीज ये है कि wrong conviction about the reality of the world as well as sukha from the world is the medha, because of which we are not going beyond it, rising above it, to think about what Shastra is saying about the absolute truth. Why? Because I've already accepted the world as truth and I'm living in that. And it is giving me pleasures and sukha. Why should I go? First of all, is there anything beyond this? It is not there. Even if you insist, why should I go for it? Because really I am experiencing and enjoying the world. See the power of Maya. अब जवाब ही नहीं मिलता गुरु को, उस बंदे को कहने के लिए, जब वो कहता है इतना बढ़िया मैं आइसक्रीम खा के आनंद में हूँ, वाई शुड आई कम टू योर उपनिषद लिविंग द आइसक्रीम? Guru knows the answer, but he also knows this fellow cannot be answered. Because this question and answer cannot be from the Guru, it should be from the disciple. Yeah, I am eating ice cream, I am getting this pleasure, no doubt. Is there something higher? In his jignasa, when Guru tells, he will understand. Not when he is caught up in the ice cream so much that Guru, thousand Gurus भी आकर बतावे, वो सब गुरुओं को हरा के आएगा, उनको भी आइसक्रीम खिलाएगा. You know, लाइक दैट जोक बस बहुत साल पहले बताते ना, वो बिहार या पंजाब जो भी है ना, दैट अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट कॉल्ड देम, तुम लोग क्या है ना बिहारी पंजाबी बोलते हो, इज नॉट गुड, इंटरनेशनल लैंग्वेज इज इंग्लिश, आई विल टीच यू. देन बोथ ऑफ देम वेंट, और एक 2 महीने के बाद दिस बिहारी पंजाबी दे वाइफ कॉल्ड दिस अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट टू आस्क हाउ मच द husband or whoever came learned that English. Then he started speaking Punjabi, the American president. In the same way, these people's power of Maya's logic will be so strong. Even 100 gurus come and tell कि आत्मा में आनंद है, आइसक्रीम सत्य नहीं है. They give ice cream and prove, अरे आइसक्रीम कैसी है स्वामी जी, बहुत अच्छा है. तो मैं तो वही तो बोल रहा हूँ आपको. If he has jignasa from within, instead of this temporary effortful ananda, there is something permanent, effortless, then the guru's explanation will be used by him to contemplate and understand and accept. But if Israel has got the medha or the conviction that there is sukha in ice cream or all those things, first of all, he will not give listen ear for listening. है कि नहीं? जैसे सबको सोने का आनंद इतना है, भाई सुबह क्लास में है आ जाओ, और तो सुनने को भी तैयार नहीं, बिकॉज देयर मेधा इज कॉट अप इन द कन्विक्शन दैट इन द स्लीप देयर इज ए जॉय. What is the question to be asked there? Is the joy of the sleep permanent? Second, is the joy of the sleep independent? You understand, it is not permanent, it is not independent. Permanent नहीं है, easily understand कर. Independent क्यों नहीं है? Because it depends on Atma only. The Ananda in the Nidra is of the Atma Ananda. The Ananda in the Vishaya is also is Atma Ananda reflected through the Vishayas. Now, to explain this, Guru needs to take time and give, and the disciple needs to attend. बहुत सुन सुनकर तब बता सकता है ये आनंद आत्मा से आ रहा है. Then why you go for ananda which is reflected through the medium of the objects? Why don't you go for it directly when you can achieve it on the seat of meditation? Now these are the speed breakers, hurdles we have to cross. We are trying through our study that only day by day. So little explained about Medhaya Pita. Now the last line we say now, but we'll study for some time tomorrow. What is that? Shrutam means Shravana Purvakam Atma Jnanadikam Vijnanam. The main sentence is Shrutam me Gopaya. Me means मेरा, Gopaya means रक्षा करो. श्रुतम मतलब जो मैंने सुना. No, जो मैंने सुना उसका रक्षा करो. It's a simple sentence, but you have to feel deep meaning of it. What he says here is, therefore Shankara Bhagavan, Shrutam means Shravana Purvakam Atma Jnana Adikam. So, the Atma Jnana, which starts with the Shravana of the Atma Jnana from the Guru and the Manana Chintanam, all of that is put in one word Shrutam. वो सब मिलकर मैं मेरा गोपाया रक्षा करो. So what I heard, please protect it. Literal meaning. What do you mean by that? Tat prapti avismaranadi kuru ityartaha. May I gain, and whatever I gained, let me not have forgetfulness of that. When I gain the knowledge, may I not forget that knowledge. Let that knowledge be always remembered. That is a gopanam, rakshanam of that knowledge. When the knowledge is always remembered, it is applied. When it is applied, the result comes. So when I am listening from Upanishad, Ham Brahmasmi, may I not forget it. That's the meaning. And this is the most important mantra as regards me is concerned in the study of all the Shastras. जो हमने सुना पहले वो याद होना है. भूलते गए तो कितना भी सुनकर क्या फायदा. And now you can understand the completeness of such great rishis, when they give such mantras. Oh Lord, more important than how much we hear from the gurus is how much we retained and remembered. So here Srutame Gopaya also means protect what I have heard. So to let what I heard the knowledge protect me in my life. And so what is the protection there? No more indulging in samsara as a baddha jiva, but may do sadhana and reach to my mukta sthiti. That's the meaning. Few more thoughts are there, very important. Tomorrow we'll discuss it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Then these are all for the Medha Kama, the mantras for chanting as japa. Bhagavan will say here, कि जप अर्थाः एते मंत्राः मेधा कामस्य. These are mantras for doing japa by the Medha Kama. Now he'll say Homa arthato adunaha Sri Kamasya mantraha uchyante. Now the mantras for employing in Homa are taught, which are for the one who is seeking the Shri or Dhana or Sampada. And why the Shri has to be earned by our effort and by the grace of Paramatma in the name of Om. Those introductory few thoughts we say, and then we see the mantra. How in this mantra, how lavishly and unhesitatingly this disciple or Bhakta or Guru is putting in front of that Bhagavan in the name of Omkara all their requests and applications of all types of wealths. Surprise लगेगा आपको कि हम वेदांत पढ़ रहे हैं कि लौकिक पढ़ रहे हैं. Then Shankara Bhagavan will explain, only when we have the wealth, then we can do all noble activity, then we purify ourselves, then become qualified. As long as the wealth is used for seva and sadhana, it is not a harmful thing. Then the wealth is used to destroy others, to use for indulgences, then it destroys us. कोई भी चीज साधन के लिए यूज कर रहा है तो अच्छा है. If 10 people are there as your friends, if all of them are helping you doing a sadhana, a very good friendship. If those are nalayak taking you away from the sadhana, then they are not good. In this way. So let's chant once. Om Yaschandasam Vrishabho Vishwarupah Chandobhyodhyamrutaat Sambhavova Samendro Medhaya Smrunoto Amrutasya Devadaranam Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmanah Koshosi Medhaya Pihitah Sutam Me Gopaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om 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 Om. Today, whole day, you try to at least few times remember what is the meaning of the entire mantra. Sutam me gopaya. May the knowledge gained by me is not forgotten. It is always remembered. That way, may it be protected. Medhaya pehitaha. The self and the alamana of the self called as Omkara are concealed in the Laukika Prajna. May reduce that and remember this more. Then Brahmana Koshosi, the sheath and Upalabdhi Adhisthana for Parabrahma is Omkara. May I look at Omkara like that with respect and do the Upasana Omkara right from chanting till contemplation. In the same way, the earlier mantras of Shariram Vicharshnam, Jihva Madhvattama, Karnabhyam Vishwasam, all these things. Just few times if you contemplate, the essence goes inside. Thank you. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamada Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shanti 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 Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Paramarushabhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha Adhishankarat Gurave Namaha Om Yagnivalka Vaishampayana Vedavyasa Adi Satgurubhyo Namaha. Chalo friends.